What's this one I'm looking for? Do. Okay, is it working? Just hit your refresh. It should be totally fine. I love the way it always happens right at the start of the stream. Anyway, we're back to you. Okay, shush, quiet now. Right, so yes, that's our plan for this evening. Provided the internet doesn't decide to say, we'll shut down again. So let's hope it doesn't do that, shall we? So into this machine here, I haven't flown this yet. It's one of the few planes left that I must try and fly. As who's here? Mr. Chippy is here. Hello, Mr. Chippy. You only came in the door and then the stream broke. We blame you. Infinite Logic is here. Is the patch going to be automatic? I've been sat here saying 89 gig update for days. The patch should be automatic. Once you turn on the sim, it should turn on. So we'll wait and see. Philip says, I thought it was my internet. It was. I was totally fine. Nothing happened here at all. Avia David, are you in Cork? No, but we will be. Daza T Arab is here. Good evening, Daza. Hope you're keeping well. Ludos is here as well. So again, hello, how are you? I'm good. Stuart says, Murph, I'm over on Discord. If your net drops, I'll stand in again until you're back up. Nice one, Stuart. Co-pilot and wingman. Stuart, you are my wingman. Vincent says, can you save the custom tail number so you don't have to reload it every time? I don't think so. No, I think you got to save it every time. So let's turn on our battery here, shall we? And hopefully the internet's decide not to break again. So we shall see. Now, how does one start this airplane? Well, I imagine we need gas. There, yes. Turn on some fuel. Carb heat. Cabin heat. Carb heat. 15 degrees, we shouldn't need it. Luda says, would it be possible to fly with me? Yeah, so once we get down to Cork, we'll open it up to multiplayer. And as our first glitch of this evening, it's cheers and sláinte. Tasty beverage on this Monday evening. Okay, let's try it all again, shall we? So, okay, there are lights, yes, and our barometric pressure is reading correctly, yes. Ignition left and right, fuel pump, mixture coming on. Open our prop here as well. Check our throttle. That seems to be fairly good. Now, let's see. Fuel pump, grand, master, ignition on, off. Here's a key that says start. Sounds good to me. It's alive! Avionics coming on. I got some strobes here now as well, and landing lights, because I imagine the lights on this thing aren't fantastic. Alternator master comes on as well, as not to drain our little battery. Aidan says, Murphy, I'm craving just to see some sort of aircraft up here in Galway. Haven't seen one in ages. I can imagine. Ludos, okay, I will wait in the sim. Can you tell me your name in the sim? Ludos, the best thing to do, if you join the North European server and pick your next airport as Cork, which is Echo India Charlie Kilo, you'll see a whole load of us there. Holly Gunner 68 is here. He says you can save the tail numbers in the aircraft CFG files. Nice. Maybe back them up first though, as in just copy, paste it somewhere else and then belt away. Jeffrey David is here. Good day from New Orleans. Good evening to you, Jeffrey. I hope you're keeping well. Stuart says, Murph, I'm just following the M6 heading down from Scotland to Manchester, where I'll pick up the M62 over Leeds, passing Huddersfield. I'll see about heading over to you once I'm complete. Nice. You're over on X-Plane, I think, Stuart, are you? Speaking of which, they've new planes in X-Plane. Obviously, we also have the A300. They've also released the, is it the P38 Lightning? It looks so good. Okay, so we have lights, and they look grand. So before anything else breaks, it's time to make some sort of a sporty get out of here quick. So we have an autopilot on this as well, which is really I was going to say heavy. It's really handy. So we can get our flight directors turned on. Altitude select, we're going to go for 2,000 feet. And that's going to be good for me. Okay, parking brake coming off. Add a bit of oomph here. We'll taxi on out. This should be a bit of fun trying to taxi this thing as we're trying to look over the nose. Kyle D Aviation is here. Good evening to you. Nissan Dory is here. He says, Crackman, could you do a wee flight around Bangor County Down, Kirkstown Airfield in Newtonards? Not tonight, but maybe soon. Maybe Wednesday. There was a stutter. We fear them. Okay, steady now. Come on, guys, and update the sim. And come on, internet provider. Sort out your internet. Andy Beeson is here. Good evening to you. Hope you're keeping well, dude. As Jordan W26 is here as well, watching in Twitch. Or watching in Twitch? Watching on Twitch. He's watching on Twitch. So yeah. So I have to say, this is a really, really nice airplane. They brought one of these out for X-Plane. And I got my hands on it because there was... Where are you going? Stay. They brought one out in X-Plane, and I remember the old one. Do you remember that they made the Cub? Was it ASDG or ADSG? And I've only read there like last week they've abandoned the whole project, which is like really bad. Shira says, you taxi them like a slalom. Ah, yes, I like to do the slalom. You often see the old warbirds. Warbird? Hang on. Ah, you often see the old warbirds doing that. And he says, I'm very well, thank you. How are you? Going good, man. Yeah, we had a shaky start, but there's nothing new there with a shaky start. Muse fan is here as well. Good evening to you. As Calahad, flying around Ireland in this has seriously made me think of moving back home from here in Tanland. Tanland? Solomon is here as well. He says, just got here. The Buzz is here. Evening, Captain Murphy. Let's go explore. Oh, yeah. There shall be exploring tonight. We're going to ramble down towards Cork. And then from Cork up to Donegal, like if you follow it in pretty much a straight line, you can just manage to stay out of everyone's airspace. Mainly Shannon and Connacht, or Knock, as we know it. So we don't need all the runway, but just in case, we're going to back taxi here a little bit. It's just as well I did. The turning circle on this now. And he says, the internet gremlins, indeed. Kyle the Aviation, could you fly over Wicklow and make a short detour to Newcastle? Maybe not tonight, but soon. Jordan Wall says, I did know that you did YouTube too. Yes. So we're broadcasting live on Twitch and on YouTube. So wherever the stream is better, clearer, and less stuttery, I suppose. That's the one to go for. Are you stopping on way to Donegal? We'll see. I think the main thing is going to be down to Cork first. Then that'll let me know if the internets can kind of hold the bandwidth. And we'll see how we go. So transponder is on standby. So we're going to go to altitude mode. I do like this avionics setup. And it has an autopilot. So it's not the fastest plane in the world by any means. It may not be the prettiest by any means. Well, I think it's nice. And it's not as rugged as the Zlin version of it, or the Z-line or Z-Lin. I don't know. We probably don't need flaps, but we're going to put in a notch just to see what happens for the crack. Wesley Hartford is here. Good evening. He says, hey Murph, how are you? Doing good, my friend. Doing good. Which server are we on? It'll be on the European North. Chico says, how will we join? From Cork. That's Echo India Charlie Kilo. As I'm trying to line myself up here on the centre line. It's a little bit hard to do inside the plane. I've literally just broken all of your immersion. Okay, I think we're ready to go. So, transponder is on, lights are on, prop and mixture are to full. Let's boogie. Ganache is here, or G-Nash is here. Weston is in Selbridge. Yes, it is. Whoop. Steady. Okay, a little bit giddy on the ground, but gentle inputs. 60 knots. This thing just wants to get airborne. Decent climb out. Bring the flaps back in. Nice departure here out of Waterford Airport. Sika says, but do we add you or not? You don't have to, guys. D2 Tone Murphy is the username, but it'll be an open server if you like. So it'll be on all players. We could do a private group, but as far as I know, that's like limited to 6 other players. Andy says, chocks away. So we've just taken off from Waterford. Out on our left-hand side is on towards Wexford. Good strong Viking names these. And out to our right is out towards County Cork. So we want to try and keep it below the clouds if we can. There's a small bit of wind, but nothing major, as you can see from the waves. And guys, if you haven't already tried it, turn the wind up to like very windy. As Monkey is here. Many thanks, Monkey. Do you see what I did there? Yeah. And who else? Someone appeared behind it. It looked like 2 of them. Okay. 2 monkeys came in. Many thanks, my dude. I hope you're having a pleasant Monday evening. You're very welcome along to the stream. Let's hope I don't break anything again. Okay, so I'm going to set up a bit of autopilot. So because we have an autopilot gadget, we're going to go sinker heading, autopilot coming on, heading mode, altitude is already selected to 2,000 feet. We're going to go VNAV, and we're going to select our climb, VNAV Murph, and we're going to select our climb to, where can we collect it? Okay, it's going to, interesting. Okay, so that'll get us up to 2,000 feet. We're going to stay on this heading for a moment. Now, we want to zoom out here. There we go. So you kind of see here is we're going to come down by the coast, and we'll be turning in towards somewhere around a little island if we can. Monkey says, great channel merch, love the vids. Great channel Murph. Did I just say merch? Murph. Love the channels, or love the vids of Ireland. Many thanks, Monkey. You're very welcome here this evening. Jim Oates is here as well. Good evening, Jim. Phil is here. Hi, Murphy. Can't wait for the patch this week. Yeah, boy. It's, hopefully they fix it. Mal Walsh is here. The weather is a bit better this week. A little bit, Mal. Only a little bit. Daza says, I flew the A320 today from Dublin to Frankfurt. It was good, but I missed the scenery you get while with GA flying. 100%. Low and slow. Like it's. Don't get me wrong. Like the jets are fun, and once they fix them, they're going to be better. But like when you have views like what we have down at this level, it's fantastic. Brian Clark is here as well. Good evening to you, Brian. Luda says, have you got the live weather on? Indeed, I have. And it's relatively accurate. There is a lot of cloud moving in from the south, pushing up north. So we're not too far off kind of realism. I say realism. Says your man whose stream broke, and then you had to taxi outside of the plane. But that's all fine, we don't worry about that. So we hop outside and enjoy a bit of Irish scenery, shall we? Gob Slayer is here. He says hello from Vegas. Hello, Gob. Hope you're keeping well, dude. As there is a long stutter. Anyone else notice that? I hope it's just me. Ian R. Fisher is here as well. He says, hope you're well tonight. Keeping well, Ian. Many thanks for joining us, my dude. Joe Roberts is here. Good evening to you, Joe. Jake Body is here as well. Hello, Murph. I'm back again. Yes, you are, Jake, and you're very welcome. Phil says, pity not fixing live weather, mind you. It was correct for my location yesterday and live. Nice. Luda says, okay, I'm spotting Cork, and the weather here looks not so good. Cade Melia Falche. It's Jock on Cork. Stuart says, I completely abandoned the Cessna 182. Just can't get it to fire up from cold and dark. So we're kind of ticking over nicely here. Stuart is saying that you've abandoned the 182. So basically what I need to do, it's worked once and only once for me, Stuart, from cold and dark. And I still don't know how I managed it. So the workaround is do everything as you would right up until the point that you're going to actually turn the key. And then just press Control on the left and E. E for Echo. Now the only bummer is it'll automatically turn on your avionics. But at least it'll start. KCG is here. Good evening to you. Hope you're keeping well, dude. Brian Clark says, Ireland is so beautiful. It just is. Ali Gunner says, looks almost as nice as Wales, but without the rain. Mal Walt says, just seen an advert for the new NVIDIA graphics card. Only £1,400. That's not bad, considering. When the RTXs came out first, I think they were around 18 or 19. They were ridiculous. Sika says, how will we join into the same game as you? So if you guys, you should probably be able to see each other now if you're on the same server. So once I get down there, I'm going to change out my aircraft, then I'll jump onto the server, and then we should be good to go. Bill says, yeah, Ireland is beautiful. I'll round up the sheep, Murphy, on the mountain here. Get them over water to you. 6 Knots is here. That server, is it? It is the European server. North Europe. That's the one you want to be jumping for, guys. But I say we got a good kind of 25 minutes, give or take, until we get down there. We shall see. Super Tards is here. He says, nice pick and plane. Many thanks, Super. Yeah, it's pretty awesome, isn't it? I do like this. As yeah, the heading is so it moves by 10 degrees. There has to be a setting for that. That's really strange. So like it moves it in 10 degrees, which isn't ideal. I'm sure there's a button for that somewhere. But we shan't worry too much as we continue our escapades around the coast. Chad Hittenberger is here. He says, "Hi Murph, do you think we'll get a DC-3 soon?" Yes, I do. How soon? I don't know, but there are a number of aircraft in early development. There's also a number of kind of, I don't want to say freeware producers, but they will be known in the X-Plane world as being freeware developers. And there's a lot of projects in the work at the moment, a lot of them. And officially, unofficially, there's a bit of scenery happening for Ireland as well. Now, whether or not we'll get it this side of Christmas, unlikely. But there is definitely some stuff on the way. Kazuya says, "Thanks for accepting my friend's request, Murphy. I'll come join you for a flight soon." Nice. I take it that was the other day. Yes, it was. The Vidya Crusader is here. Good evening to you, pal. I hope you're keeping well. Pavo77 is here. He says, "We need more planes." Well, we do. Yeah, we do. Of course we do. Planes are always going to be nice to get in the sim. Whether or not airports are that much important, I definitely want to see more aircraft, because, you know, the airports are okay. Some of them. Like, I flew in Dubai the other night, and like, Dubai is a premium airport, and there are taxiways on that thing that, you know, you wouldn't put. But put it this way, like an A380 or like even a 767, the nose would probably like hit the ground with the landing gear extended. There's mesh issues pretty much all over the place, and like, that's a premium airport, so like, they have a bit of work to do. Jam Fjord is here. Evening Murph, hope you're well. Keeping well, Jam. Many thanks for joining us. I hope you are keeping well. Jake Buddy says, "Can I join on your flight?" Of course you can. Pavel says, "What's my name on this?" It's D Two-Tone Murphy, all uppercase. But once you're on the North server, check it out. Once you're in, I'll show you. When I'm doing it, you guys, I'll show you what I do, and just make sure you guys have the same settings, and we should be good to go. Yeah, that's about right. Sure, says Murph. You want to try taxi in Jersey? I think I did that. I did a flight, I think, from Jersey down to Mount Saint Michel, and it was crazy. Ludos asks, "Is it in all players?" Yes, all players. Davidia Crusader says, "I'll join one day when I can actually have confidence in my abilities." Dude, I'm telling you, the only way to learn is try yourself into the deep end. We're not following any real world procedures or ATC or even charts. We're going to go in, hop in, lock in a GPS to Donegal, fly somewhere between 2 and probably 6,000 feet, and we'll take our time. So, see how it goes. Matthew Heeds is here. Good evening to you, Matthew. He says, "Are you heading to the hills of Donegal? Like the song?" Yes, we are. Performance-wise of this aircraft, this is kind of good. Like, we're getting 122 knots, which is fast. And we're doing a Cessna kind of 172 range here. Now, I will say it's thirsty. This thing will empty the tanks fairly quick. Now, do we want to go down or up? No, not that one. That one. You saw nothing. Nothing happened. Everything's fine. Don't panic. Streamlabs says, thank you for following, Ian Odd. So I've been trying to figure out how the bot works. So I hope I got it working now. So if you guys want to try the exclamation mark, I don't know, put in plane, exclamation mark plane. Try it on YouTube and Twitch, and hopefully the robot gadget guy will give you an answer. Monkey says, Murph, how do I get this past my wife to convince her I need a new PC, or do I wait for the Xbox version? Is the Xbox version going to be any good? So many questions. Sparker in VR is here. Good evening to you, dude. I hope you're keeping well. If you're looking at a PC, I would say it's a relatively strong investment. A PC is more than just a gaming machine. You know, you can do other things with it. If you're into, well, whatever you're into, like a PC is definitely going to be the way to go. And in terms of having a modular system, whereby you can buy a PC and after kind of 2 to 3 years, you can start looking at upgrading the components in a very budgeted way. For example, you can buy yourself a bit of RAM and save up for a couple of months, maybe buy a hard drive, save up for a couple of more months, and maybe throw in a graphics card. Because the motherboards, like, they stay pretty much relevant for about 5 years or so. If you buy a console, well, my own experience is the games that come out on console tend to be expensive. They're limited by, obviously, their processing power. The optimization might be a little bit better, but any game or sim, well, I wouldn't even say about a sim, but certainly any game I've used on console, I found it so much better by the time it came to PC. Ben Looney is here. Good evening to you, Ben. Kramer Airlines is here. Good evening to you. Jason Paris says, gasp, not that one. Most of my flights in 2020 button clicking experience. Sir Blackie a lot is here. Good evening to you. He says, hi, that link is in Discord now. Guys, you need to go to Discord on this guy here. Because Sir Blackie a lot has created an Irish Air Corps livery with a caveat, and the caveat being is it has the two-tone Murphy kind of logo gash thingy, and it's sweet. And I have to say, many thanks, my dude. You are a terribly gifted artist for being able to create this. So kudos to Sir Blackie a lot. Ian says, when is FS 2020 out on Netflix? After tonight's stream. Monkey says, thanks, PC it is. Nice. Jim Oates says, upgrade everything, but use the same case, then nobody, including the wife, will ever know the difference. Ben says, where are you heading? I just arrived. So we took off from Waterford. We're going to head over to County Cork, Cork City Airport, Echo India Charlie Kilo. Once we get to Cork, I'm going to change my aircraft. I'm going to go for the Cessna Grand Caravan, and we're going to head north. And due north is going to be Echo India Delta Lima, which is Donegal. As Jason Paris has just subscribed. I don't know why I'm getting 2 notifications, but it's double the excitement. It's double the effort tonight. Maximum effort. Kieran Nile is here. Good evening to you, Kieran. He says, will they bring out an A330? Microsoft have a lot of work to do. Yeah, they kind of do. There will be an A330, most definitely. There will be an A350. There's going to be an A319, I believe. They've already started a lot of work on the A320, which is looking well. So I think it's just, let me see. Restream has just, okay. So my bot needs a bit of work. So that, it's not the Carinata 182. But on Twitch it came up with, yeah, no, that's still wrong. Hang on. I can fix this. I'm getting better. Wait, now, was that was Restream? So if I go into settings and I go into bot, and if I go into bot, yes, reply commands, aircraft, edit, hashtag, no it's not hashtag, plane. This is the X Cub. And the route is going to be EIWF, EICK, EIDL. If this works, I'm a genius. I'm only saying, if it works, I'm a genius. Create. Discord. DISCORD. Message text is going to be that. And create. Okay, so we'll close that. Yes. I'm a genius. Ben asks, do you know when it's coming to console? I don't, but I reckon it's going to be in and around November. Minty Aviation is here. Johnny has just joined. Just joined in. Whereabouts are you now, please? Johnny, we're on our way kind of just outside of Cork here at the minute. We're going to be turning right. We're going to go in over Cove, and we're heading into Cork Airport. Once we get to Cork Airport, we're then going to depart and head north up to Donegal, if you want to check it out from up there. Mr. Trippy says, Old MacDonald's farm strip is EIEIO. That's kind of the night we're having. It's a howl a minute. Tico asks, what plane am I using? Well, at the moment we're in the X Cub, which is this dude, which is kind of nice. But then I'm going to go for the Cessna Grand Caravan once we get over to Cork. Papa Joe B is here. He says, hi Murph. Good to hear your voice. When I load Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, it flashes that it's checking for updates as it loads. Is there a way to check and run updates without total boot up and then another restart? Let me think about that. The best thing to do, Papa Joe, would be just do a search for Microsoft Flight Sim bugs, and there's 2 or 3 kind of websites already giving all the answers of the initial bugs from launch. So we'll have to wait and see. Worst case scenario, if like come the weekend we're going to have a new update and it should fix all of these things. So that's the hope. Chad Hittenberger asks, have you travelled out of Waterford, Ireland in real life, Murph? I haven't. No, I've been down there, but I haven't taken off from there. Cian Lafford is here. Good evening to you. He says, I made the difficult decision of watching Star Wars or a two-tone Murphy stream. Obviously, I chose the two-tone Murphy stream, accompanied by a pizza. Cian, the force is strong in you. Many thanks, my dude, and I hope you're enjoying it. Ben McClure says, where are you? We're just approaching Cork. Jam says, I love that you set the RPM of the engine to harmonise with the music. Luda says, you think I'd be able to follow with a 172? Yeah. Should be okay. I think the Caravan is going to do maybe 140 to 150 knots. But we'll take our time. Damien McGinn is here. Good evening, Damien. Hope you're keeping well, dude. Many thanks for joining us tonight, as the weather in Cork is getting very interesting. Ireland looks incredible in the... It really does. It's so pretty. So we're approaching Cove, which is over this neck of the woods here. And you have Hull Bowling, this island, and then you have Spike Island, which is like a prison or a fort. Well, it was a prison, then it was a fort, now it's a prison again. And I think the Defence Forces own it. And then they gave it to someone else, and now it's a museum. And you can get a little boat from Cove out to the island, and it's pretty cool. Monkey says, this is actually so awesome to watch. Next best thing to not having it. I agree. So we'll adjust our heading here ever so slightly. We can have a good gawk at Cove. Andy Shaw asks, have you used the pop-out VFR map on a second display? Hi Andy, I have, but it creates a bit of stuttering and a bit of messing. The Vidya Crusader has become a member, or has become a member even. Many thanks, my dude. I'm having all sorts of crack with the stream tonight. So apart from the internet breaking, it's giving me double notifications. That just means it's like doubly awesome tonight, but at the same time it's like, what's going on? Why is it broken? Raiden is here, good evening to you. Can we take a look at the Shandon Bells? Okay, where are they? Do tell me. Ben Looney says, you do not know what the weather is like down in Cork. Well, they said it was going to be cloudy. Now, how cloudy? I don't know. But it's pretty cloudy. We can fix that. We'll use science. Let's go for 1,000. And we'll go for 500 feet per minute descend. And we'll bring our speed back here a little bit. So the height of the field in Cork, as in the airport, is about it's nearly 500 feet, I think. So I'll have to check it all out momentarily. Stuart Payne says, well, I'm down and parked heading over to Microsoft Flight Sim. Nice. Marty O'Mahony is here. Good evening to you. He says, hey Murph, thanks for bringing us these incredible views of Ireland. Glad to catch a stream of yours. Many thanks, Marty. You're more than welcome, dude. I'm glad you're enjoying them. As, well, we're in the soup. This is ideal conditions for a tour of Ireland. As you can't see in the distance, that's southern Cork. But it's totally fine. We're going to get ourselves landed here momentarily. We have the airport over here on our right. Forex Irish is here. Good evening to you. He says, hello, where are we going? So we're going to do a quick landing here in Cork. I'm probably going to have to change up the weather a bit, otherwise we'll see nothing. And then we're heading to Donegal. Sure says, Tinkle stay in the SR22. Nice. Zelox is here. Sup, mate? How's it going, dude? Keane Lafford just can't wait for the Eurovision. Keane, at this stage, I reckon you're going to be in it. You're going to be representing Ireland in the Eurovision. 259 days. So I'm just going to pick this runway here, even though the wind is kind of a little bit against us, but like, let's see what this airplane can do in a bit of a windy situation, shall we? This could be very good or very bad. And we'll go face cam on for the dramatic effect. Cue the suspense music. Forex Irish says, ah, lovely. I work at Cork Airport, Airport Police and Fire Service. Nice, dude. Okay, autopilot coming off. A quick look here to see where the old runway is. It's just there. Throttle right back. We're a little bit high, but that's quite okay. With the performance of this machine, we should be able to land it on a rooftop. We're not landing on a rooftop, but I'm just saying we could. Okay, let's see what happens here. Mixture is set to rich. Prop is now full. And we'll just 500. Ease our way in here. 85 knots. I'm going to park up at the... I think the school is up there, isn't it? The first exit here on the right. We will see. So, according to the weather sock, we're flying against the wind, which is the correct thing to do. No need for flaps here, because we're showing off. And watch with that an epic fail of gargantuan proportion. And we bounce it. And we're down. Not too bad, kind of. You have to be really careful on the brakes here, otherwise you'll topple it. And that just won't look cool at all. Nice. Tips for the tail dragger: always keep the pressure then on the back as soon as you're slow. As soon as you're slow enough. An abrupt stop. We'll taxi over here. Ben Looney says Cork is my favourite airport. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Buddha says I'm going to use the Caravan with the DHL livery. Nice. Super Tart says nice job. Many thanks, my dude. As we taxi along here, we could use the old slalom, but well, we're cheating. And ooh, slow it down. We'll spin off here into the left-hand side. Nice. Forex says the runway lights are wrong at the front. Probably. But again, like, Cork isn't one of the it's not a handcrafted airport, but they've done a relatively decent job. When we respawn, I'll show you the fire station. It is over that direction, I believe. I could be wrong, but last time I checked, it's over here somewhere. There's a bit of mesh to contend with as well. And as far as I know, there is a flight school up this neck of the woods as well. Sweet. Okay, parking brake coming on. We can go ahead now, turn off our strobes and landing lights. Didn't need our pulse lights after. Let me see here. Avionics coming off. Fuel pump off. Ignition left and right off. Alternator off. Battery off. Sweet and awesome and cool. Okay. Change of plane where you want. Looks like you're flying in New Orleans actual weather. It's rain here. Nice. Yeah, this is where the flight school is. Cool. Okay, so the weather isn't very inviting, but that's okay. So I'm going to jump back out here to the main menu. And we're going to change our aeroplane. Now, usually what happens here, I've learned, before you kind of like break the sim, I had to do the same over in X-Plane. Like, when you're finished a flight, it was always good practice to shut down the sim and relaunch it. And the only reason I do that is the autopilot never seems to work or want to work once I restart it. But it's grand. We can do it, flying planes. We understand it. Ben Looney says, are you going to do a tour on Cork Airport? We'll have a look around once we get there. Keane says, what's the blue thing I saw up in the sky today? Hot air balloon, maybe? You know, it's blue. You don't get blue in the skies here, man. Chad says, the Cessna Grand Caravan should have 867 horsepower. I think it should cruise at around 175 knots if it's modelled correctly. Interesting. So Blacky Lass says, if you add the skin, you see it on my plane. I'll add it probably after the stream, only that I'd be absolutely tempting fate. I'll break it. 4X says, I was one of the first respondents in 2011 when the plane crashed. One of my first days on the job. Dude. Mad Matt 112 is here. He says, hey Murph. Greetings from Alberta, Canada. Greetings from Ireland. Mad Matt, you're very welcome. I hope you're enjoying the content so far, dude. And I bet you I'll get some sort of an update. Checking for updates. Let's see what happens here, shall we? It gets very quiet without music, doesn't it? Would anyone like to sing a song? Go on, you can sing. We won't judge you. We'll say very little. Keep it grooving, he says. Checking for updates. This is taking us time. Imagine if it said update 87 gigs. I'd probably keep the stream going, like 6 or 7 days maybe. I hope not. If this decides not to work, I won't be terribly happy. However, if it does decide to work, I'll be okay with it. Jim asks, so what are you using to control your audio, cameras and music? Is it a Stream Deck? Yes, it is. So I use the Elgato Stream Deck, which is absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend you guys get one, even if you never use it for streaming, because you can put, you can bind. Can you do it in Microsoft Flight Sim? I know you can do it in X-Plane. You can bind various buttons to it, like your APU starter, lights, your ident, various autopilot commands. I'm unsure, can you do it with Microsoft Flight Sim? Ben Looney says, sing a jumbo breakfast roll. Finian Murphy is here. Evening, sir. Hope all is well. Any news on the Xbox version yet, or do we know? He's from Middleton. Good evening, Finian. I hope you're keeping well, dude. No word yet. We'll have to wait and see. Jamode says, yes, you can. I use it in most of my sims. Nice. Papa Joe says, I saw the same update in the queue for 700 plus gigs. 700 plus gigs indicated it only load in the next startup, but it didn't want to, so I asked about a manual update. Well, I hope it's not 700 gigs, because that's going to be a problem. That would be terrifying. Kramer says, I believe Squirrel does it. Yeah. Jeffrey David says, Murph, what part of the country are you in? Digging the background blues. I'm in Tipperary. And it is a long way to Tipperary. As we have all sorts of technical difficulties this evening, but that's okay. Power usage, very high. Nothing new there. So let's see what's happening here. The task manager is open. And my sim doesn't want to work. A night of nights. King says, is aviation your hobby or do you enjoy playing flight sim games? Aviation would be a hobby, and so is flight simming. I love me some flight sim. Let me see, this happened before. Okay, it's doing something. 1.7.12.0, so there's no update that we can see. Hello to many people from Twitch coming in. Not on console 1. Sup, boys? Accept your debt, he says. Good evening to you. Go Hybrid is here. B Mint is here. Alori is here. How's it going, guys? Hope you're all doing super well. Happy Monday to you. B Mint is raiding with a party of 8. Or with 6. Many thanks, B Mint. Very kind of you. Welcome everybody from B Mints. I hope you had a really nice stream. I'm waiting for my sim to work. I'm not having a night of technical difficulties at all. It's totally fine. Nothing to worry about. We're getting there. So we took off from Waterford down to Cork. We're now on the ground at Cork and we're going to do a group flight. Loads of multiplayer if you guys want to join us. We're on the northern server. Northern server? The North Europe server, rather. And yeah, we're going to fly up to Donegal if you guys would like to join in. Yeah, it's like as soon as your stream is working, it's like grand. I'm going to hit that little button, and then as soon as you hit the button, like a couple of people start coming in and say, yeah, it's going to be totally fine. And just as you're ready to start, the internet goes away. It's great fun. I love it. I live for that stuff. We shall wait. Had you problems with your autopilot as well? I wouldn't mind. I actually shut down my sim after the first flight because the autopilot just won't work on a second flight, if you like. You got to shut it all down and start again. And then I went to shut it down and I wouldn't start again. It's absolutely fine though. Ludo says, formation takeoff. We shall see. Cheers. Positive rate is here. Success. Give it a second. It'll appear. There we go. Haha. So we have some of these. World map. And we're going for the Cessna Grand Caravan. So we're going to go weight and balance, fill the tanks because it's a long haul. Let me see. In recognition for your lovely raid, I can't put in MINT, but I'll just put in MNT. And Echo India, of course, well, we're in Ireland, so that's how we roll. Okay, so select our departure airport is going to be the wonderful airport of County Cork. Oh, there's so many people. Okay. We're going to go up near the fire station. Set as departure. And our arrival is going to be Echo India Delta Lima, which is Donegal. Flight conditions, all players. No, all players, traffic off. We're going to bring the time back to some daytime with a few clouds. Just to confirm, guys, we're on the Northern Europe server. Once it finds it. 26. Casagia says, are you going to do a cold and dark start? Sure, why not? Let's see here now. The navigation isn't working. It's not flying where it should. It's disaster when that happens. Stuart got his fuel on the ground. Nice. Rob is here. Good evening, Rob. How's it going? Super chat, $5 Canadian. Many thanks to Vidya Crusader. I work the Global 7800 in Toronto. Nice, dude. Do you think the Q400 will be available in Microsoft Flight Sim? See, I'm getting double alerts. What a night. This is a night just to go home early and say nothing to no one and just pretend everything was fine. But it's grand. The Vidya Crusader, many thanks for your support, dude. It's always windy in Cork. It's horrible, says 4X Irish. It's never that bad. Every day is a cold and dark start for me. Oh, yes, I approve. Even when you don't want it to be. So I think we're set up. Famous last words. Multiplayer, all players. Why is that flashing? There we go. And well, let's hit fly. Don't look at the screen. Let's just hope everything works out. And so while we're here, we might as well do a bit of diddly idle. Get yourself in the groove for heading up to Donegal, or Donegal, as we like to say it. Stuart says, take off from runway 16. We'll give it a shot. Wesley Hartford is here. He says, wait for me. Go Hybrid, many thanks for the follow, my dude. I hope you're enjoying the stream this evening. We can't guarantee you a high production stream, but we can guarantee you absolute mess and disastrous things. Rampus Stomp says, do love the music, matey. Nice. Okay, we didn't choose this weather. There we go. Look, see that blue thing? Us Irish people aren't aware of that, but seemingly it's not just a canvas. That's what the sky looks like. Our teachers lied to us for years, and so did the parish priest. Echo India, Mike, November, Tango. I'm digging it. Okay. Okay, Sim, settle down. Let's see what's going to happen here. As we jump to the outside view, I will have a look around Cork. So yes, there are some mesh issues. Stuart says, I'm currently watching a 208 trying to mate with a TBM. Okay. Who's driving the buses? Right, guys, our plan here is to depart from runway 16, but Johnny No Mate's up the top. If you want, you can just take off. We'll wait for you. That's quite okay. So yeah, so looking around Cork Airport, the fire station, I do believe, is down this neck of the woods by yonder prefabs. Brian Strait asks, what happens when you crash? I cry. Most of the chat cries. And the sim just goes all to a black screen and says you crashed. Wesley says, that's how you get a Kodiak. We are mixed breeding the Cessna and the TBM. And the offspring shall be a Kodiak. I like that. If you're not careful, you'll end up with a PC-12. I like that as well. That's pretty cool. So as you can see, Cork Airport, it's not the most highly detailed. The building layout-ish is kind of right. Someone's gone for the Dior Robin. That's bold. Is that it? Is that a PC-12? Hang on. Hey, how's it going? Are you in charge of this aircraft? But you can't see over the dash. That's Frightening. Okay, enough of this. Taxi out to runway 16 and we shall depart. Okay. Cold and dark. Can we start this machine here? So first and foremost, come on Murphy, fuel tanks on please. Go. I'm going to come down here and we're going to get our battery switch on. There's a nice beep. Turn on our nice lovely screens here. The video was a little bit bumpy on final. Orex says, very disappointing. Give it time. Give it time. A well-known Irish developer will be hard at work. Many thanks for the follow, B-Mint. What's the starting airport, Murph? It's Echo India Charlie Kilo, or Cork Airport. And if you're a local at Cork, we don't say Cork, we say it's Cork. Cork Airport? Now, let me see. So battery is on. We got some lights on here as well. Our recognition lights and our nav and beacon lights. No smoking because you're not allowed smoking here. Seatbelts and cabin lights can come on. Worry about our anti-ice and pitos here now in a minute. Our standby power can go on. Ignition. Do we have everything set here? Parking brake is off. Parking brake is on. So mixture full, grand. Have we props? Yes, we have props. Okay, so prop to full. Tiny bit of throttle. Let's see here now. Ignition, fuel boosts. Ignition set to on and starter. Prop RPM is rising. Torque is rising. And ITT is rising. We can introduce some fuel now. Go to low idle. Best voted airport in Europe and second busiest in Ireland, and they don't have it made. Give it time. Someone will make a decent Cork. Trust me, it'll be fine. It'll be super. Really super. Amazingly super. So nice. Everybody's going to love it. It'll be the best there ever was, there ever will be. You know that fella. Right, now, barometric pressure, please. We need to set you, which are set, which is grand. Transponder, we can probably leave that on VF4, which is 7,000 because we're in Europe. We'll go altitude mode, hit Mac. We'll go to our map here, display, weather. No weather to worry about. We're at about 500 feet, as I said. So we'll go ahead now and turn our starter motor off, ignition back to normal. Standby alternate power. I need to read up, but I think we can leave that on. I hope we can leave that on. And now, let's see. Pitot heat can come on. Stall heat can come on. Wing on. The ice light. Don't need that. Famous last words, but I don't think we need that. So if we look at our VFR map here, we're pretty much heading north. And we'll have a bit of crack along the way. Nothing too kind of major, but let's see how we get on. I see what you did there and I approve. Someone at Microsoft was a proper cork blocker. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so that's all kind of fab and groovy. Oh, altitude, yes. We'll set our initial altitude for 3,000 feet. Because why not? And our heading is going to be 160. Runway heading. Turn our flight directors on. They'll activate in there. Lovely. Okay, we're good to go. Get some lights on here. Strobes come on there now as well. Johnny, don't turn around. We're not going to do anything but just taxi forward. As our parking brake comes off. The fire station is literally a farmer's shed. It's totally fine. My house in-game is nicer than my real house. I'm not complaining about it. Who are you telling me? My garden looks super clean in the game. Or sim. Okay, don't mind us. Just totally ignore what we're doing. Hey guys, and forklift gets out of the way. Cool. Who's in a PC9? And why, in fact, is it a PC9? I'm somewhat perturbed. Jake Body says, I'm in the caravan. Nice. There's another PC-12. The destination is Echo India Delta Lima. I'm kind of a big deal, so I'm going to skip the queue. Plus, I'm paying the landing fees. Okay, so this is going to be fun. Stuart, I do believe this is you off my left-hand side here. KCG says, thanks for doing the cold dark. It was useful. No problem, my dude. Jake Buddy says, I'm P40 Warhawk. Cool. So we got a bar. Hang on. We got a Baron. We got a G36. Ah, that's probably why. So deliveries, yeah. Still though, they're going to look pretty cool up in the air. Okay, so to well, the Bonanza and the Baron in front, ready when you guys are. As we deploy one notch of flap, as we take off, it'll be gain altitude, then a turn right, headed west, and then eventually then north. So, ready when you are, guys. Let's get rolling. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Airspeed is alive. We'll keep to the right of the field here, just in case Stuart's back there, which he is. There's 60 knots. There's 80 knots. We're getting light now. There's a diamond already well airborne. That's pretty cool. No landing gear to worry about. Brought in the flaps way too early there, Murph, but that's okay. Nothing like a sporty departure. Yeah, it's kind of busy. It's like a scene out of The Day After Tomorrow. We're all legging it. Chad says, didn't know Donald Trump was from Ireland and not New York City. Good Donald Trump impression. I was told it was the best impression. Okay, enough of that. So we're going to spin around here to the right, headed west, and that's going to make us turn out to the north. As we approach 1,000 feet. The wizard is here. I was away from YouTube for half an hour and somehow it went to this stream. I'm gonna watch it now. It looks interesting. Hello, people of the stream. Hello, wizard. You're very welcome. And I do hope you find some comfort or enjoyment in this stream, as we're flying multiplayer at the moment. We've taken off from Cork Airport, which is in the very south of Ireland, and we're heading up to Donegal, which is the very northwest of Ireland. But let's see how we go here, shall we? Cool Hardy 46, you've got a fair few flying tonight. Yes, we have. Keen Farrer is here. How are you today? Very well. Thanks, Keen. I hope you're keeping well yourself, dude. I'll say, there should be enough spacing now, I hope, after taking off. And I kind of went with a wide berth. Oh, look at this. So we still have one or two people departing from the airport, which is like totally fine. Pickets here. Do you think flight sim will being a crash sim and remove the blacks? No, I don't think so, dude. The problem is, because these aircraft are officially endorsed, if you like, by the manufacturers, they're probably not going to see them getting kind of virtually smashed up. It leads to all sorts of problems. Andy Murphy, many thanks for the $1 through the super chat. Really appreciate it, dude. The wizard says, you got this. Famous last words. Okay, so we're going to check up on our G1000 here. Murphy, whenever you're able to do it. So we're going to aim for that magenta line, and once we do... I don't know where we're getting you know, double notifications, but I don't know. It's like a strange kind of an echo thingy. So you've kind of passed your 3,000 feet threshold there, but that's okay. New altitude of 3,500. Heading mode sync to where we are now. Heading mode activated. Autopilot on. VS speed can be activated. I'll go for climb rate of 500 feet. So at the moment, we should be doing okay. It'll probably take a few minutes for everyone to get kind of in line and circled up and into formation, but look at all the lights. It's like fireflies. Keen Farrer says, what are your thoughts on the sim? Is it worth getting? Yes, it is. Don't forget, it's literally a week and a bit old, nearly 2 weeks old. And out of the box, it's very, very good. And we have nothing but updates coming. So, yeah. Go Hybrid says, not as famous as Hold My Beer. No. Monkey asks, what's the ETA to Donegal? About 1 hour. I think we're looking good as we're flying over Cork. This will be Cork City we're going over. As we look back here, that's the main city centre of Cork. Parky Queeve out the corner there. As we look on a little bit further, we have Little Island, and then back into Cove. That's some tidy flying with the caravan. Jamfjord is digging the music, the tunage. Definitely the best music on any flight sim stream by a country mile. Many thanks, my dude. Keen Farrer asks, what's your favourite aircraft inside the sim? Well, I gotta say, I really like the Cessna 172, the default one. The Carinata 182 is quite nice. I really like the Savage Cub, only for its simplicity. You know, the Icon is nice. It's very much kind of like a car, but it is nice. Kane says, you'd be a great tour guide, Murph. I'm no good as a backseat or a side seat passenger. I travel really bad. I have to be either flying, driving, sailing, or like I'm hopeless. Go Hyper says, I'm really enjoying the TBM 930. It is pretty cool. My current heading is 014 degrees, and soon we'll be making a left turn, and we should be heading probably 008, I think. W Yorkshire, I'm loving watching Flight Sim, and I'm very tempted to purchase it. However, I'd be using an Xbox controller and don't think it would feel emerge in the game, but I'd be a complete noob. That's okay, dude. So, if you're thinking about getting it, let's go to nav mode here. If you're thinking about picking it up and you only have an Xbox controller, that's totally fine. You're going to be able to use an Xbox controller. And if you are quite new to it, well, if you like it, in time you'll pick up a, like, just, you don't need to buy the most expensive hardware. Pick up a cheap controller, like 20 or 30 bucks, and you're going to be good. And then if you know, if you really get into it, then you can invest a few more dosh on, you know, higher end hardware. The Chasman is here. He says, love your vids, need help. How do you get the camera set where you can move around from your joystick? I do have a Trustmaster with point of view on top, but having trouble setting up the camera. Move around from your joystick. So you gotta bind viewpoints to your actual joystick. So if you have your point of view here, which is cool, I use a drone camera. So if you hit the insert key by default, it'll open up your drone camera. And this is the drone camera. And then I use an Xbox controller to get these sort of views. And I have to say, that looks pretty nice. Christopher Chen is here. Can we still join you in the game right now? Of course you can, dude. So, we just left Cork. You'll want to pick something very fast to catch up, or if you go up to Shannon Airport, Echo India, November, we'll be passing by in the next kind of 10 or 15 minutes. Don't forget, guys, if you're new to the channel, if you like what you see, here's a shameless plug. Like, subscribe, follow, light a candle for me, tell your friends, tell your teachers, tell your employees and employers, and your better significant half. I stream every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 8 o'clock Irish time. Is there any other time? And I do hope you guys are enjoying the content. Yeet Defeat Sheep. I love that name. I'm subbed and I like to your channel, love your content. Well, many thanks, Yeet Defeat Sheep. Say that really fast 10 times. Yeet Defeat Sheep. Pinion says, this is helping my fear of flying, I have to say. You're coming with me to Tenerife next year. No problem. Chad says, should be 1,000 feet behind and above and below the aircraft spacing, unless you're truly formation flying. Challenge accepted. This caravan is doing really tasty work here. Go says, the Blue Angels had to cancel their air show due to COVID, but it was reported that the Air Force Thunderbirds were allowed to fly because they never got closer than 6 feet. What do the Thunderbirds fly? I think they're F-16s, I think, aren't they? The Chasma says, I have the views binded for the cockpit, but not on the outside. So you can double up on the same key binding, so you can use the same keys inside and outside of the aircraft. They're not going to conflict with each other. So just go to external camera in your key binding and put in the same keys you have for your internal. It'll do the same thing. Ecor is here. Good evening to you, Ecor. I hope you're having a pleasant evening. Ecor says, beautiful sim. Okay, so I probably want to slow down. I'm currently doing 162 knots, which is a little bit fast. So I'm going to bring our speed back here, guys. I'm going to aim for about kind of 150. What's your weather setting? Asks Wesley. I currently have it just set to a few clouds. Because the actual Irish weather, well, you know, we wouldn't see much. Harry Quinlan is here. Hello, Harry. Hope you're keeping well. That is, of course, if the aircraft is ADSP equipped, of course. Nice. Keen Farrer asks, because I'm new to Sims, is it better to start off with a yoke or a side stick? If you're only starting off, if you have access to a yoke, use a yoke. And the reason I say that, they're far easier to control. However, if you're on a budget, go with a stick, because you can fly many different types of aircraft using a stick. For example, when helicopters get released into the sim, your yoke will be less than useless. It'll be no good. Ali Gunner says, Murph, you have the loudest keyboard on earth. You have no idea. It's one of these mechanical ones, and I've been trying with my sounds to get, you know, you can't hear it. And I'm not going to lie to you, I kind of like it, but I know you guys don't, so I try not to be whacking away at it. So yes, I have much more to learn when it comes to drowning out the background noise. But we shall see. Ali Gunner, I do hope it doesn't drive you absolutely nuts. And if it does, well, I'm sorry. I had a softer keyboard on my last setup. I must get that actually. That might help. Go says yes, they were F-16s. Nice. Stuart Payne, F-18s. F-18s, I think, were the Blue Angels. Ludo says, I'm trying to catch up, got a little error. That's okay, dude. Can you maybe do 130 knots for 5 minutes? We're at kind of 146-ish at the minute. We'll bring it back ever so slightly. And that should allow us kind of group up. It's getting kind of busy out here. Harry says, how do you get the A320 livery pack? Harry, if you just do a search online and just go to Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 add-ons, you'll come across a livery pack. I think it's like version 7. There's over 100 different liveries in it. And like it has like British Airways and it has Delta and there's loads of them. And in that pack, you'll find the Aer Lingus one. I highly recommend it. It's a great pack. Johnny RS is here. He says, do a backflip. Go on, I dare you. I'm going to get some sleep. Have a good night, everyone. That's okay, Keane. We'll catch you on the next one. Manny, thanks for joining in, dude. Accept your desk says, brown switches are silent for mechanical keyboard. I must have a look. What add-ons or mods is there to download so far? And do they cost? Asked W Yorkshire. Okay, so you have the online marketplace built into the sim, and there are a couple of add-ons you can get in there. There's one aircraft, a couple of airports. There are a number of free bits and bobs. For example, there is a very basic and low quality F-18. The outside model is quite good, but there's no interior, there's no cockpit, it doesn't behave with any sort of autopilot, there are no avionics. But it's cool for just kind of ripping around in of an F-18, and I think there's a P-51 circling the rounds somewhere. You can definitely get the freeware airports. Drzewicki Design did 3 of them for Poland. Aerosoft did Paderborn, that's over in Germany, and I think that's where Aerosoft are actually located in the real world. Who else? Orbex released a free airfield as well as their payware ones. So there's quite a few bits and bobs there. Jam says, Microsoft Flight Sim has been loading for about 15 minutes now. I'm guessing something ain't right. Same happened to me. I used my task manager. I forced a shutdown of the application and then I launched it again and it was all good. Pizza Monster is here. Let's try that in English, Murph. Pizza Monster is here. Mark Intella says, hey Murph, gotta run. The wife is calling. Time to be a good boy now. Be back later. Stay well, my friend. Mark, you take it easy out there, and many thanks for joining us this evening. Keane says, what does your wife think about you babbling about aircraft in your gaming room? She signed up for this. That's when we got married. She married the madness as well. But, yeah. It is what it is. I don't just babble about aircraft in the games room. So, there's that. 47k says, couldn't catch up, so I flipped in the field. Enjoy the rest of your flight. Off to sleep. No bother, dude. You take it easy, and we'll hopefully catch you on the next one. Pizza Monster says, I have a question. It's happened to me when flying the 747. I can't control the speed indicator when I'm on the autopilot mode. I can control everything, just not speed, especially when I'm descending. There are a few bugs when it comes to the autopilot in the bigger jets, so there's no point really spending time on a workaround. I'd say within kind of 48 hours we should have a patch and it should address all the headaches we have. Ecor says, I have a Thrustmaster HOTAS. It was sufficient for FSX and Elite. Not too many buttons, easy to configure. Yeah, Thrustmaster do some really good controls. Ali Gunnar asks, is the T16000 stick good enough without the throttle? Yeah. Yeah, if you can get a throttle, even better, but yeah, anything at all at this stage. Oh yeah, and the advanced version of the A320, that's freeware as well. They're trying to do to that as Zebo did with the 737 on X-Plane. So hopefully that all works out. Wesley says, Murph, is your yard dampener working? Mine is not. Nope. There's a bug. Well spotted. Donald Miller is here. Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, Donald. I hope you're keeping well. Many thanks for joining us. Christopher Chen says, flying a holding pattern over Shannon now. Nice. So, if you look at the screen here now, we're within kind of 15 to 20 nautical, or less. We're about 15 miles outside of Shannon. We're just coming up over Limerick. So we should be seeing you relatively soon. I'd say that's you over there. We're just about to pass, so you better intercept us. Your jumper doesn't work in the 208. Neville Johnson's here. He says, will you give a shout out to Danny Doyle? Pizza Monster says, I'm waiting for the honeycomb this week. Nice. Yeah, I'm pretty much mad to get my hands on the honeycomb as well. I'll pick it up in a couple of weeks or months. Big Cheese is here. He says, go Balbriggan. Maybe not tonight. We'll definitely catch on the next one. And if you're really stuck to see Balbriggan, if you go back through YouTube, there's already a couple of videos when we're flying out over Dublin and Balbriggan and the likes. So be sure to check them ones out if you want to see what Dublin looks like. I'll be doing kind of exclusive Dublin stuff soon. I've started on an adventure to make a video of each of the 32 counties of Ireland. I'm as far as Clare at the minute, and I'll start working on Cork probably tomorrow. They're only like 2 or 3 minute long, but just give you guys an idea of what to expect. Donald says, I'm using the CH Virtual Pilot yoke and it works great. Nice. Jer's here. How's it going, Jer? He says, hi Murph, after flying Flight Sim 2020 now for a while, how would you compare to the flight model in the sim against X-Plane 11? Okay, so when it comes to the flight modeling, you know, people I think tend to get a little bit confused. Flight modeling and flight handling are two very different things. So does the aircraft replicate its real world counterpart in terms of its speeds and, you know, angles of attack, pitch, torque, engines? That's where the realism is. In terms of the physical load bearing or handling of the aircraft, sims just can't do that. Do they do what you expect them to do based on the inputs of your controls? Yeah, they do a pretty good job of it, I have to say. For the most part, they do a really good job of it. People say X-Plane, the flight model is so much better, it feels more realistic. It depends really on the aircraft. I know X-Plane have this element blade theory whereby, you know, they're simulating a moving object in an environment. That's what the blade theory is. They'll simulate the environment around the wing and the wing will react. So if you get the data on the wing correct, well then you're going to have, you know, a decent experience in terms of what the aircraft should and shouldn't be doing. The legacy FSX on the ESP was always big into, well, you know, the aircraft should be able to do a turning circle of, you know, 360 degrees at this altitude, at this speed. It should take X amount of time. You know, its climb rate will be this if the torque is set to that. The weather, because it wasn't really dynamic, it was like, okay, well, in minus 15 it'll do it, but you know, you got to have your carburetor heat, or, you know, with this it's very different. So there's my 2 cents on the whole flight physics or handling, but I do like this. It does a really good job. It's very believable, put it that way. Matthew Heath says, Murphy, how long will Microsoft Flight Sim be on the Game Pass? I don't know. Forever, I would imagine. SRM is here. Will you be doing Kerry? It will be savage to see the mountains. Are you also on max settings here? Yeah. So I did Kerry. We were down in Kerry only at the start of, was it Chasing Storm Ellen? If you check out that vid on YouTube, we're down in Kerry for a while. KZG says, I have the Cytec switch panels, trim wheel, and they don't work in FS 2020. Hope they fix it soon, or I will splash out on the honeycomb. Yeah, so like, the Cytec panels should work in time. And again, you know, a lot of third-party developers have issue with the SDK, and Asobo know this, and they're going to obviously update it, and they are going to address it. So give it a bit of time, and hopefully they sort it all out, you know. Holy humbugs, what a dive. Havo 077, have to go. See you next time. You take it easy out there, Havo. Have a pleasant night, and many thanks for stopping by. Gob says, I'm right above you, Murph. Nice. Very nice. Pizza Monster says, ooh, you had music on the plane. Robin is here as well. Good evening to you, Robin. He says, hello, Murph. Can't wait one day to join a flight on my Xbox. Soon, buddy, soon. Johnny RS says, looks like the Battle of Britain. Andy Beeson says, that looks so cool. Cheras, will the honeycomb yoke would be better than the HOTAS Warthog? I don't think so. The honeycomb is amazing, but again, you're limited to flying only fixed-wing aircraft. If you get the HOTAS Warthog, you have the best of both worlds. You can fly helis, you can fly fighter jets, and you can fly GA stuff. So as we continue on our flight here, we're rambling up over Loch Derg. Which is all belongs to the River Shannon. Danny Doyle is here. He says, shout out to Jared Dooley, the legend of plane spotting. Would it take 1 hour in real life for this flight? Should do, yeah. Man, that sounds loud. We got a King Air 350 coming up off our right hand side in the back. It's organised chaos. Jake Buddy says, and the caravan behind you. Nice. Jer says, great to get all this info every time you're on. Great help. My pleasure, dude. Cockney John is here. Good evening to you, Cockney John. Are all these other planes up with you live, Murph? They surely are, John. Feel free to tag along if you like. We've just passed by Shannon. If you want to join us, you can take off either out of Galway, Connacht Airport, which is actually Knock, or Sligo, and then we're rambling further on north up to Donegal. So our ETA of our arrival is about 48 minutes. Our current speed is 145 knots true, which is 155 over the ground. We're at a heading of 005 degrees at an altitude of 3,500 feet. Dangerous Brian is here. Good evening to you, Dangerous Brian. Many thanks for joining us. He says, hi Murphy, just popped in to hit the like button. Got an early morning tomorrow. No problem at all, Brian. Many thanks for joining us this evening. Great to see you. And hopefully we catch you on the next one. W. Yorkshire says, so if I purchase the game, a complete noob, and a stick Xbox controller in, is it going to run me through what to do, or do I need a little bit of knowledge? No, just jump in head first, man. There is a tutorial in the sim. It'll teach you the basics. There are a number of YouTube channels out there. I have a few videos on my channel if you want to check them out for kind of like introductory things. When it comes to flying, the Reaction Review, he's about to start his own flight training tutorial series. He's already done 1 or 2 videos. He's a real world instructor based in Ireland. You can also check out the likes of Squirrel, Frugal Pete, Oz Flight Simmer, Q8 Pilot, Cat Strader. Chewy has a lot of videos out there. There's a lot of really, really good content at the minute. Yeah, Captain Canada is there as well. Like, he streams for hours, and you do pick up a lot of cool stuff from him. Did you bring your grog along? Sticky Rice is here. Top of the morning. I just arrived. Well, top of the morning to you too. You're very welcome. Pizza Monster says, the worst thing ever is I finished my month holiday today. I'm back to work tomorrow. That was a nice time in Microsoft Flight Sim. Dude, don't worry. An hour a day. Darren McCann says, go. Neville Johnson says, I'm behind you on the left. It's like going to a GAA game when I was younger, with all of us flying together. Keen Leffert says, where do you see your altitude? So on this aircraft, on our main PFD, or our main display, primary flight display, that's our altitude here. Or failing that, we have a secondary display in case that top one fails, and this is our altitude here. Your altimeter, or as I remember some of my Dutch colleagues had said, your altimeter. Danny Doyle says, are you able to go upside down, Murph? Indeed I can, but I shan't, because I'll fall out. Wesley is showing 45 minutes to landing. 45:21. Ecor says, question. If you change the weather time, it probably doesn't change for others. Does multiplayer have a fixed setting, real weather? It is evening, but this Ireland in the daylight. Just curious. So you can. So if you're in a group, a localized group, as in I think there's at the minute I think you can only have 6 other people in that group. Whoever the group leader is, they can dictate the time, the weather, and the region or location and where you're flying. So that's great if you're flying with your buddies. So you'll save all your buddies' usernames and you can create your own little group. If you're just using all players, well, you have the freedom to change the time and the weather as an inverted DA62 goes by. Then if you go to, what's the other setting? I was going to say real players. I won't do it here now. Oh, you want to be careful there. As soon as I paused, I stop. I forgot about that. There's a shot. So yeah, so I'm on your left wing, says Ludos. Are you in the DA? That's some tasty flying there, my dude. Hi. How's it going? Let's just look this way. There's nothing to see there, folks. Nothing to see. We're all good. He's gone. Andy Henderson is here. Good evening to you. No, I'm in the caravan, but the liveries. Aha. Andy Henderson says, trying the P51 mod, trying to catch you now. Nice. That's okay, Wesley. Dangerous Brian says, everyone still seems a little shy of the like button. Remember, guys, if you're new here, do be sure to hit the subscribe or follow button. And if you like the content, you might consider dropping a like too. It all helps. Jake Buddy says I have 176 ping. Yeah, that's okay. It doesn't really seem to make a difference with latency. Ludos asks, do you know how I can set the speed in the caravan? Well, there's no auto throttle, so you just gotta get your throttles right, aim for a speed, trim the aircraft and try and hold it. Ian Bennett asked a very personal question. Murph, Tato or King? But being that they're both owned by the same company now, I would have to say King. Or here's a challenge for you, Ian. Buy yourself a packet of Tato and a packet of King, mix them all into like a bowl, and go bananas. That's some nice flying with the Baron pilot. John Morris says hi, first time here, loving the channel. You're very welcome, John. I'm delighted that you're enjoying the content and I hope you're keeping well on this Monday evening. We are on the Northern Europe server. As we're just passing by Galway here. Over that neck of the woods. Gobslayer says, can't wait for the P51. Yeah, boy. Dagman Gaming is here. Good evening to you, Dagman. He goes, g'day Murphy, how are you? Very well, my friend. Happy Monday to you. We're doing a flight. We originally took off from Waterford over to Cork, and now we've taken off from Cork, and we're heading north up to Donegal. Cockney John asks, hi Murph, what's the performance hit on your system, if any, when you're in multiplayer? Anywhere from kind of 4 to 8 frames, depending. It doesn't seem to be too bad. Buckley is here. Good evening to you. More emojis than I can count. I hope you're keeping well, dude. Many thanks for joining us here. Andrew Noble is here. Hello, Mr. Murphy. Hello, Mr. Noble. Many thanks for joining us here on this Monday evening. Hope you're keeping well. David Martin is here as well. Hello, David. Good evening, he says. Good evening to you too. Hope you're keeping well, guys. Happy Monday. The start of another week. W Yorkshire says, so if you wasn't streaming during the autopilot mode right now, would you be getting bored? Well, at this stage, this is called the cruise. And usually in the cruise, I wouldn't say it's boring, because you would be later on, once you really get into flight simulation, you'll be working on your approach, you'll be talking to ATC, and you'll be getting ready for your landing. But this is the good thing about streaming, or you could be sitting here watching another stream as you fly, as these guys are doing. Go home, DA, you're drunk. But it depends. Like, if you're going to be doing some of the transatlantic flights or long range flights, and some of the bigger jets, the tube liners, the 747s or the 787, you could be in cruise for maybe anywhere between 2 and 7 hours. What some people do, they'll set up their flight. They'll, once they hit the, top of descent, they'll go to bed for a couple of hours. Or before they get to the top of the descent, they'll go to bed. Or just play marbles on stream. You could do that too, Ian Fisher. Andrew Noble says, I got the DA62 for X-Plane. It's a bit of a frame killer. It is. Aerobask are one of my favourite developers in X-Plane, and the DA62 is phenomenal. But the G1000 system absolutely kills the frames. They are aware of it, and there will be an update coming soon. Klaus Schmidt is here. Greetings from Bavaria in Germany. Guten Abend, Klaus. Welcome. Many thanks for joining us here on the Monday evening. I hope all is well in Bavaria in Germany. Colonel Fork is here. Sorry I'm missing the flight. Been spending some time with my dad. That's quite okay, Colonel Fork. Regards to your father. I hope he's keeping well. And I hope you're keeping well as well, dude. Saw the pictures and the video of your P-51. It looks amazing. Lucas says, look, Mama, I on Twitch. It's all good. But yeah, like, I mean, it's some guys might say the cruise could be boring. That's why I love GA aircraft. And especially if you're flying in locations that you're only going to experience them for the first time. Like when we flew in New Zealand the other night, I don't know how many of you guys have been to New Zealand. I was there once before, and like that was such a buzz flying over all these sites I've seen from the ground. Seeing them from the air was just incredible. And I still got a great sense of, oh look, I was there and I remember seeing this, and like it's absolutely amazing. And then if you want to do actual exploring, like flying around new places just to see what they look like, epic. KTG says, the beauty of the sim is you can fly anywhere in the world and you can enjoy scenery and places. It's hard to get bored. I agree. Donald Miller says, good flight. Time to get ready for work. See you next time. Donald, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Have a good day at work, or a good shift, or a good evening. And we'll hopefully catch you on the next one. DHP Production, Evening Professional Irish Sightseeing Guide. DHP Production, how are you, man? How are you keeping, dude? Many thanks for joining us. Happy Monday. Hope you're keeping well. Andy Shaw says, is your server set to auto, or which Europe server are you on? I have it set to auto, but because of my location, it'll always default to North Europe. KCG says, I flew into Auckland yesterday, Murph, and love flying over Rangito and downtown. Nice. Luda says, gonna do some bush flying in the future. Oh yeah. One of the guys was saying we got to check out places in Alaska and Canada. So that's definitely on the list. I might do that on Wednesday if you guys are up to it. Danny Doyle says, when are you landing the plane? I say we got about 35 minutes. 33 minutes, give or take. So if you have a look at our little map here, we're now approaching Cork Airport, also known as Connacht Airport. After Knock, we're going to come up past Sligo, then we'll have Bundoran, and then we're into Donegal. This airport in real life was voted the most beautiful approach, or the most scenic approach in the world, which is kind of cool. It's no Lukla or Bhutan, but it is a really nice approach. So looking forward to that. Joel Edwards is here. He asks, how much in pounds to run Flight Sim on Max? At the moment, I don't believe there is a computer out there that can run this program on Max. Microsoft, historically when they release flight simulators, they build them for hardware that's only going to be, consumer level in about 2 to 3 years. So on my specs, which are quite beefy, see if this works. I have an i9 9900K, an RTX 2080 Ti, and 64 gigs of RAM. And okay, I can get pretty much 60 FPS in most circumstances, but I can't run the game at max, or the sim at max. Now, I stream off the one machine, which definitely doesn't help. But if you were to match my settings in pounds, you're probably talking somewhere between maybe 1,800 to 2,800 pounds, somewhere in between. Luda says, I'm off to smoke. Hope the Autopilot is doing well. David Martin asks, what part of Ireland am I from? David, I'm originally from Dublin. Married a girl from Kildare. Spent a lot of time in Kerry. And I live now in Tipperary. The county, that is. DHP says, I believe they named the servers incorrectly. I live in central Sweden. I have the lowest ping to the West Europe server. You live in Ireland and you get the lowest ping to the North Europe server. Doesn't make sense. I agree. And the gas thing is, right, and here's something you mightn't all know, but the vast majority of the European servers are actually based in Ireland. Like nearly all of them. The Azure platform, most of it is based here in Ireland. And they just use whatever... Be quiet, Siri. They use different methods of accelerating the data. Dangerous Brian says it's a long way. Funny Russ Videos is here. He says up tip, Cohan tip, Hazes be Jesus. Quite the pack we've got here, says Christopher. Holy moly. Joel Edwards says, wow, I'd better remortgage the house. Maybe wait for an Xbox then. Will probably be pale in comparison. I don't know. Ian Bennett says, North Europe is Dublin, West Europe is Amsterdam. Cool. David Martin says, nice, I'm from Kilkenny and now living in Kildare. Nice, dude. Are you from the Kilkenny city region or the outskirts? I like Kilkenny. Quesadilla says, yeah, huge Azure data centers in Ireland. There really is. Samuel Weeks says, they are your escorts. Am I in trouble? Did I do something wrong? David Martin says, outskirts of the city. Nice. My brother is actually living in Kilkenny City. He also twitches. It's a condition. No, I'm only joking. He also live streams. He's over on Twitch. His name is Neon Jedi, and he does a lot of Destiny and kind of role-playing games. But his name be it Neon Jedi, if you guys are into those sort of games. Kieran Murphy says, I can see my house. Nice. Birdsy919 says, why are their gears down? They're using custom liveries and the sim hasn't figured out quite the model for them. So they're showing them in like a PC12 when really it's a Grand Caravan, but in a different livery. So it's kind of defaulting to a generic aircraft. Darrell Riley's here. Will you be doing a Belfast to Waterford flight in the future? Yes, I will. I quite like the idea of that. Belfast to Waterford. Might do that on Friday night. Be sure to tune in. Andrew Noble says, could you tell me why the DA62 burst into flames on takeoff? Is that over on X-Plane? You got to be real gentle with the engines, man. Yeah, Geek Bernice says, only keep the DA62 at full power at takeoff. As soon as you get airborne, bring it right back. 85 to 95% tops. 90% is probably the best. Up to Desi. Desi Boy is here. Desi Bolly is here. Welcome all. So our Monday night flight is going quite well. So over this neck of the woods we have Knock International Airport. There's a funny story surrounding that. They had to get a bishop in, so they built a runway for him. Bad Dog is here. He says, hi again, Murph. I see the boys are back in town. Yes, they are. Luda says, this is my best experience in Flight Sim, and I do it since 2013 now. Thank you. You're very welcome, dude. I'm delighted that you're enjoying it. What Microsoft Flight Sim can do in terms of the multiplayer, I've never had this experience in another Flight Sim, even flying online. Because this is just nuts. Ludas has become a member. Many thanks, Ludas. Really appreciate it, my dude. Welcome to the flight crew, Ludas. Samuel Weeks says, Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 rules. Yes, it does. It is a game changer, absolutely. And like guys, don't forget, this is very much... What is he doing? This is very much in its infancy. You know, like... FSX is still in use. There are people still using FSX, and that platform is like donkeys years old. It's so old. And it can still pull off some fairly nice scenes. Sean or Murray is here. He asks, where are you now? We're just passing by Knock International Airport, also known as Connacht. The next airport we're going to fly past is going to be Sligo. By all means, if you guys want to join in, go to Sligo now. Echo India Sierra Golf. Take off, and you can join our flight on up to Donegal. Jer says, can you see other planes on your map or just you? You should be able to see them, but for some reason I can't. If you're flying with AI traffic, you can see them. So I think again, it's another bug. Sean says, were you in Cork? Yep. We took off from Cork about 30 minutes ago. David Martin says the scenery is the best, showing Ireland in all its glory. Absolutely. Mohammed Baba, can you please go to Sweden? Vasquez Valby. Sure, we'll go to Sweden. Maybe not tonight, my dude. We'll check it out on another stream. As we got a King Air right ahead of us. Some nice flying. Keane says, what's your favourite place you flew over so far in the sim? New Zealand was pretty epic. Like, I love flying over Ireland. Like, it's absolutely stunning. Look at this. As we sit in the left seat here. No, we're in the right seat. Like, you have wind farms over here. You can see them way off in the distance. Like, Ireland does look absolutely stunning. KCG says, I flew from Carlisle to Newcastle up on time this evening just before sunset. The skies were just glorious. Awesome, dude. We're getting a little bit of lag and stutter, but we won't worry about that. Look, over here, flying chickens. There's nothing to see here. Nothing at all strange. Pilot Hands is here. Too close, man. Oh, yeah. But that's okay. See, he's miles away. Absolutely nothing to worry about. Joel says, was quite surprised to see the York Minster in my hometown flat and the Royal Mail building where I work looked pretty accurate. Nice. Pilot Hand says, I can smell his lunch. Darragh Riley says, are there any countries you want to fly around? I'd say Iceland would have some great views. Yeah, like I want to do a lot of stuff in the States, but like everyone's flying in the States, so I'm going to hang around Europe for a while. I definitely want to fly around Austria. I want to go down kind of over the kind of Bastogne neck of the woods and head down Austria all around kind of Berchtesgaden over to Innsbruck, maybe come back over to Switzerland, the French Riviera, and then, you know, all that neck of the woods. I very much want to fly around Australia. I really want to fly around kind of, you know, Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam. There's nobody here but us chickens. Dan says, okay, the Beach Bonanza was a fail. Now jumping into something faster from Sligo. Cool. Who's the diamond flying inverted? Whoever it is, he has our lunch money. Go Hybrid says, Beeman and I did the radioactive tour. We flew Chernobyl, the Nevada test site, and the Bikini Atoll. Nice. Yeah, Chernobyl is a place that, yeah, that's going to be interesting to fly over. Nevada test site, that'd be pretty sweet. Yeah, like there's so many places. Like it's an understatement when they say you can explore the entire planet. You pretty much can. Bikini Atoll was a bit of a letdown. That kind of sucks. Like, give it time. Like in a couple of months, someone is going to tidy that up. Like it was the same way out south here in Ireland, out by the Skelligs. You know, the Skellig Michael is like super famous because of Star Wars, and it's just kind of like a big green blob of mesh. But give it time, they'll work on it. Yeah, they kind of do that. 6 knots says 787 inbound. Oh dear. Holy cow, who was that? Was that like a P-51? What? There's always one. There's always one. Oh, look here in a little maparoony. See how we're getting on? Dangerous Brain says, come on guys, we all enjoy Murphy streams, so let's support him and get 100 likes or 3,000 subscribers. Nice. Oh, it's happening. Many thanks for your subscription. You should drop into Clonbelogue, Athboy, Lime Tree, a rank of smaller airfields, the best flying in the country, says Aaron. 100%. So I didn't actually go to Clonbelogue yet, or Athboy. Lime Tree we've done. Really challenging to land there. It's really hard to see it in the air. Joel Edwards says, I haven't seen any contrails in any of the videos yet. Have they been left out? For the moment, yes. It is due to come in though. They've already mentioned it. So give it a bit of time. So as we're around Sligo here, guys, this big mountain range here, I forget the name of the range, but this mountain here is called, it's called Ben Bulben, and that's Sligo town, and then you have Strand Hill out here, and that's where the little airport is. Really, really nice part of the world, this place. That kind of says it all, doesn't it? I feel I can just like jump across. Oh god, it's energize. That is ridiculous looking. You're pretty much at full flaps on like on idle. Don't forget, guys, if you're new here to the channel, if you're watching on YouTube, oh look at the shadows down there, look. If you're watching on YouTube, I have this new kind of join button. It says you join. You can join the site if you're interested. You don't have to. None of this, of course, is required. It's just in case maybe you're interested to support the channel. There are 3 tiers created. Flight crew, co-pilot, and then pilot in command. There's a couple of perks. Eventually, you know, you get your own little kind of badge. I'd be giving you a shout out and tail numbers and access to multiplayer and stuff like that. Look at the shadow though. Don't mind the actual aircraft. There's a shadow there that just looks amazing. Look. Andy Beeson says 4 to beam up. That's awesome looking. Look. It's kind of similar to what they have on Twitch, as in if you subscribe to the channel, you kind of, you know, you partake with it a few of your dollar monies every month, but it helps the channel and it kind of keeps things current, be it with adding more aircraft or add-ons, or I think we're okay for hardware for quite some time, but certainly for aircraft, if you guys are interested. If you're not interested, that's quite okay. Your very presence this evening is presence enough. And Wake Turbulence says, says Mal, another good place to stream would be Hawaii, absolutely. Who was talking about Wake Turbulence? Where did that go? Oh yeah, Wes. Thank God there was no Wake Turbulence. Oh yeah. I watched Catstrader do a stream over in Hawaii, and you know, you can kind of see repetition with some of the generic buildings, but apart from that, it does look fantastic. It looks really good. But give it time, guys. Like as I said, like we're 2 weeks into this new sim. You know, it's like imagine where we're going to be in 2 months, and you know, 2 years. It's going to be amazing. Well, we hope it'll be amazing, but I think it will be. The craziest crew of misfits. From general aviation to the Dreamliner of the 787.
That's a big deal for good buddy.
Jim Oates has now become a member. Many thanks, Jim. Really appreciate the support, my friend. I hope you're enjoying the content. Vic says, hello. Why won't unlimited fuel work? You need to go into your options. I can't really do it now because the game will pause, but if you go into your options and go into like the realism settings, I think they're in assistance, you can turn off unlimited fuel or turn it on. If it's not working, it's quite possibly a glitch or a bug, and I'm sure they're going to fix it. So we'll check a little map display here. As Poker Wiz 113 has just subscribed. Many thanks, my dude. I hope you're enjoying the content. So we are about 15 minutes away from Donegal. There's a couple of DA62s that are not on fire. Our Cirrus SR22 is doing a stellar job keeping up. As here comes a citation. Nice. Go Hyber says, I'm off, but have a lovely flight, Mr. Murphy. Nice to have met you. And to you, my friend, many thanks for joining here tonight. And many thanks again to Beam In for the raid. I hope to catch you guys again on the stream. You've been great company. Look after yourselves and take care. He's going the wrong way. Alrighty, let's have a quick look here. So heading bug, we're going to set this to manual. And let's get a look here to see what direction our wind is moving. We have a 4-knot crosswind coming in from the west. S. Void is here. He says, Lord, look at the gaggle. Evening to you, sir. Good evening, Scott. I hope you're keeping well. You're very welcome here tonight. Kieran 12 is here, new to flight sims. Can't wait to get set up and play the game. It's the most mind-blowing thing I've seen in years. Love watching you play. Many thanks, Kieran. It is definitely a sight to behold, especially with this gang behind you. Keen Leffer says there's always one. Wesley says hit the escape, he'll fly right by. Andrew Noble says, I bet ATC over Ireland have got their hands full right now. Oh yeah. Scott says, thank you, sir. Always fun. Ordering the CPU tomorrow. Nice. Samuel Week says, this is way better than Roblox Flight Sims. Ian Fisher said, Murph, what's the usual circuit path for runway 21 at Donegal? It would have been handy to get my charts out now. If you're going in at runway 21, basically you would keep left of the field, and I think it's 3,000 feet on your approach. Colonel Fork says, Charlie doesn't surf. RAM helps so much with this sim, it really does. Ian, what I'll do, I'll start adding charts to some of these vids kind of once the once SimConnect is doing a better job and we can get some ATC, actual ATC. We're going to try and do that in a couple of videos time, hopefully, or in a couple of weeks time. I'm eager to get back onto Pilot Edge and onto VATSIM. So once the aircraft start behaving themselves a little bit better, we'll start throwing in a couple of the real world procedures. I'm also pumped as well, so hopefully in the real world stuff I'm going to try and get a couple of videos done over the coming months. Maybe to out to a local flight school, go for a flight and just kind of have an explanation during a discovery flight. If you guys are interested, I'll bring my cameras around. I've been out for discovery flights before, but there's a new Cessna in town in the nearest airfield to me. It's a 172. It's old, but it's reliable. Trevor Ulla is here. Got my new Omen arriving tomorrow. Hope to join you soon. Sweet. Richie 8525 is here. Can this only be played on a PC? At the moment, Richie, yes. It's due to release on the Xbox One, hopefully before Christmas. Most definitely be released on the Xbox X series, the new one. But at the moment, it's pretty much locked onto PC. Andrew Noble says, and you thought Top Gun was good. Ian Fisher says, okay, so I'm planning right downwind for 21, 8 miles out. Okay, cool. S. Voigt says, Scott says, Sky Vector looks good for the US. Didn't look to see if it worked in different parts of the world. It's not too bad. Like, certainly the VFR charts for Ireland aren't too bad. I put a link up on Discord earlier on if you want to check it out, Scott. By the way, guys, if you want to know where our Discord is, ramble on in there. There's plenty of content to keep you going. Feel free to share videos and your own pictures as the 787 just cruises on by. Although it does look kind of nice and majestic there. But I have a link there, and there's some decent charts for Ireland in it. Just like a VFR chart. Jamie Curtis asks, where are we over at the moment? So right now we're kind of heading up kind of Dunlow neck of the woods. This is where Daniel O'Donnell is from. Daniel O'Donnell, I love my mommy, hey. That's where he lives. Oh, Danny boy. And we're heading on up down to Carrickfergus, which is Donegal Airport. The real world scenery, and pretty much the sim is doing a fantastic job of it, is absolutely painstakingly gorgeous up here in real life. P is here. My football team played Cork City in the Intertoto a few years ago. My friend wasn't allowed to enter the stadium. That's very random, but okay. So strange. I got to be careful reading stuff out. I'm like Ron Burgundy. Like, you put anything up in the chat, well, don't. That's, you know, don't be an idiot. But like, I'll read over pretty much anything, and then I'll kind of say to myself, okay. Colonel Fork says, I really want to visit Ireland, share some drinks, see the sights, maybe share some more drinks. Colonel Fork, you will be welcome here anytime, my friend. At the moment it's probably not great because of the whole pandemic and stuff, but dude, you let me know, I'd be happy to show you around. Maybe taking a flight or two. And S-Flight has become a member. Many thanks, Scott, I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for the support for the channel. Really appreciate it. Jamie Curtis says, could you ever do a flight to Burr Airfield? Yeah, no problem, dude. Probably do it on maybe Wednesday or something, or Friday. But I will do it soon, don't worry. Look at the craziness behind us. Christopher Chen says, Murphy, you've got to make a soundboard with nice as the first button. Scott says, it's a glorious place. Hope to get back there sometime. Who knows? Hopefully so, Scott. And you let me know if you're coming over this way. We got to meet up for a beer, man. I reckon you have some stories to tell. I have to say, as chaotic as it is, it actually looks very good. We've got 3 guys right in line here. We've got 2 or 3 guys kind of sussing out the area. We've got 2 guys in the high and 1 guy really high. It looks fantastic. Wesley Harford says, my poor CPU is trying its hardest but is still bottlenecking. Hoping to get an upgrade soon. Yeah, well, wait maybe a couple of days. Let's see if any optimizations come out with the patch. But yeah, we'll see how we go. Neville Johnson says, do you have any big flights coming up this weekend? Not sure yet. I'm not fully aware of my plans just yet for the weekend. But if I'm going to be around, I might do something a little bit more long range, maybe. Depending on the patch, if they get everything up and running and the tube liners are working, I wouldn't mind taking the 320 out for a spin, or even the 787. Compared to some of the formation flying I've seen, they're doing a pretty good job. That's awesome. Davin Crawford is here. How's it going, Davin? Well there, Murph. I hope you're keeping well, bud. Keeping very well, Davin. Many thanks for joining me here tonight. I hope you're keeping well, my dude. Happy Monday. The start of a week. Okay, so the field is in sight. So I'm going to fly directly over, and then we're going to spin all the way around to the right, and then we're going to come in for our approach that way. So we're going to need a little bit of spacing here. John Doe is here. Good evening to you, John. Hope you're keeping well. Happy Monday, dude. Stuart says, my SR-22 autopilot has not worked the entire flight. Trying to hand fly is not easy information. Well, Stuart, I have to say, you were doing a phenomenal job. You've stayed with us through thick and thin. Wesley says we should start a descent. I agree. So, change of altitude. We're going to go down to 2,000 feet. Go ahead and V-speed this. And we're going to go down 800 feet per minute. And bring our speed back. Neville Johnson says, do you have a joystick while playing this, or are you using a remote? I've got a HOTAS. So it's from Thrustmaster. It's called the HOTAS Warthog. So I have a joystick and I got a throttle, and then I have some rudder pedals as well. They're the Thrustmaster TPR pendular pedals. Addy Joyful is here. Good evening to you. Hope you're keeping well. Happy Monday. For those of you watching over on Twitch, good evening. For those of you on YouTube, good evening. Many thanks for tuning in this evening, guys. Really appreciate it. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, you might consider subscribing or following. I stream every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, with the odd bonus stream of a weekend. And do keep an eye out on YouTube. I'm doing an Irish series whereby I plan to do a short little video of kind of the major towns in each of the counties. So the first batch of videos, I'm going to do 32 vids of each of the counties on the island of Ireland, 2 to 3 minutes each, but just to kind of give you an idea of what to expect if you want to start exploring Ireland, which is cool. Kenneth says, hopefully less crazy than in New Zealand with aircraft landing. An air traffic controller's dream. So if we scroll up here, we're just north of the field, and my intention is spin up around this little island, and then, well, will we go that far? Yeah, we probably will. just to give us a good bit of spacing.
Hey, good money.
As Charles Slutter has subscribed. Many thanks, Charles. I don't know why the Twitch and YouTube alerts are doubled over. It's like double the effort. Nvidia reveal tomorrow. Be there or be square. Oh, nice one, Scott. I almost forgot about that. That's going to be interesting. So we're going okay at the moment. 6 Knot says, I'm going in. Scott says, in ATC we say, anyone can work under ideal conditions. Jay Wucko is here. I look forward to your tour of County Wicklow. I visited Glendalough last year. Nice. Yeah, Glendalough is pretty special. Really nice out there. Phenomenal history. Like, it's not just the Round Tower and like the religious stuff, but the Vikings had a huge impact on that neck of the woods. Scott says, almost as important, Honeycomb opens up pre-order from the factory tomorrow for delivery, probably of the middle of October. That's for the Bravo throttle. I think they're retailing at $249. Ecor says RTX 3090 Ti. Like, I suppose when the 3000 series come out, it'll probably be a good month, maybe 2 months before they're optimized. Like, even if you look at the RTX series now, you know, the games and sims are nowhere near implementing RTX. Like, the ray tracing, there's only a handful of platforms that have actually said, yeah, okay, that's what we'll do. Like Tomb Raider and Minecraft, and I think 1 or 2 more, that's about it. So, wonder how the posse is getting on behind us. Neville says, have you ever visited Carlow in real life? I have indeed. Many times. We're thin on the ground here now, lads. Ja Wuku has subscribed. Many thanks, my friend. Really appreciate the support. You're very welcome, and I hope you're enjoying the stream. Stuart says, I'm in behind the 350. Great landings from both of us. Nice. Kenneth Naughton says, did Sally Gap and Glendalough area in Icon? Brilliant scenery after going up on my motorbike from Bray a few years ago. Nice, dude. Okay, gotta make a right turn here. Heading is going to 038. Ludos is here. He says, I'm staying with you. That's some nice flying, my friend. We have a little bit of latency, but that's okay. As the sun is slowly setting here up the northwest. Six Knot says, I don't think the 747 fits on the ramp. No. Okay, new heading. Right turn. Heading 138 degrees. Danny Doyle says, give us a woo, Murph. Woo. Woo. Samuel Weeks, we are still downloading the Windows 10 update to 2004, taking about an hour so far, hoping to fly tomorrow. Nice, dude. Dangerous Brian says, only 5 likes to go, guys, and thanks for your support of Murphy. Dangerous Brian, many thanks for your support, my friend. I really appreciate it. And to everyone in the chat tonight, both here on YouTube and here on Twitch, I'm very grateful, guys. Thank you all so much for joining us here. It's been a blast on a Monday. Mondays were historically, oh, it's Monday. But now it's like, oh, it's Monday. Ken Lafford says you should fly the Amelia Earhart route. Interesting. New heading, right turn, 228 degrees. Scott says, when you're retired, there are no Mondays. I approve. Okay, let's see if we can get ourselves lined up here. So far, so good. We'll continue on this heading for a little bit, and then we'll make our way down to Donegal Airport. I have to admire the work of our colleagues here this evening. Really nice flying, guys. Danny Doyle asks, do you have to fly in real time or can you go faster? So there is a way to speed up the simulation rate. If you just go through your options, controllers, and assign a number of keys to increase your simulation rate. I'm not sure how well it's working, but again, it's noted as a bug, so. Stuart Payne says, I have a fair amount of pictures. We'll drop them in Discord shortly. Cirrus SR22 heading out. Nice one, Stuart. Looking forward to seeing them. Christopher Chen says it's starting to look like a parking lot over here at Donegal. Darren McCann says, hope you're still doing these flights by the time I save up the cash to buy a decent spec desktop. Don't worry, Darren, we'll be doing these for a long time yet. I'm having way too much fun. Okay, new heading, left turn. 208 degrees. Will that be enough? Probably not. Cancel my last. 188 degrees. Danny Doyle says, safe landing. Well, thanks, Danny. Let's see what we can do here. New heading, 178 degrees. 168 degrees. Get ourselves lined up here. Look at this. Funny Russ video says one more like and it's 100. Nice. This big old mountain over here, this is called Mount Errigal. Second tallest mountain on the island of Ireland. And it's one of the Seven Sisters. That's what it's called. I didn't make it up. Tom of the Week says, the guy flying the Dagger is a legend for staying with you around the last loop. Absolutely. He's still there. We got a few more dudes down here. Alex Bear Gamer says, is there any military planes? Not just yet, but there will be. So, autopilot coming off. I'm going to swing around to the east. Drop off a bit of altitude and some speed. And then go in for a landing. We'll put our face cam on for dramatic effect. I was having too much fun. I just overshot the runway, but that's okay. That's allowed. It can happen to you too. Okay, let's see where we are in the big bad world. Let's zoom out here, Murph. There we go. Okay, I have an idea of what we're doing. Let us see. You boys see an airfield around here? First notch of flaps coming down. There's 116 knots. Second notch of flaps coming down. So there's a big Boeing something at the end of the runway. No fear. It is a really beautiful airport. This scenery up here is right on the money. I was only up here a couple of weeks ago. It's spot on. Even the elevation of the field, it's absolutely perfect. So, mixture full, prop full, flaps full. Our landing lights are on. There's all sorts of aerobatics over the field. Make a bit of room for the old PC-12 there. There's contact left. There's enough room for the both of us. Who parked the 747? Like, they just blocked up the whole place. That's epic. You got a 787 on one side, and then just like blatant abandonmentism of everyone else's aircraft. Okay, we'll leave the main terminal alone. We'll go down to the smaller parking option. Take it out of reverse, Murphy. That'll always help. Oh! Rip. The Pitts was doing so well until he very suddenly wasn't. Okay, parking brake goes on. Bring our flaps all the way back in. Let's see here now. So, landing lights come off, strobes off, beacon off, cabin, seatbelts, no smoking light can come off, our pitot heats can come off. No point turning off the avionics, because they'll come off with the battery here as well. Starter motor is already disengaged, ignition is already off, fuel boost now go to off, and we can shut her down. Mixture coming out. Lucas, that was a great landing, dude. Matt says, that was amazing. Thanks everyone for the trip. Thanks Murph for the stream. My pleasure. Mr. Chippy says, awesome. Another awesome flight. Cheers, Murphy. That was great fun. Colonel Fork says, wait, the PC-12? Yeah, it's not supposed to be. I think it's because he has a custom livery that we can see it. So, yeah. There's the SR22 of Stuart, I would say. So we get all our stuff lined up. Battery coming off. Cool. Now it's off. Can I post the Discord link? Of course I can. Well, that was all sorts of crazy. Wrapped up in all sorts of crazy. My thanks, as always, to our multiplayer peoples in 787s, 747s, and the general mischief of our GA flights. For everyone watching on Twitch and everyone watching on YouTube, thank you all so very much. It means a lot to me, guys. Really enjoyed tonight's stream, and thanks to all you guys for joining along and for making it what it was. Many thanks to all the new subscribers and followers. A big shout out to the new members of the YouTube channel who have subscribed, for all the donations and all the good vibes. Today is a good day. Alright guys, we'll catch you over on Discord maybe, and yeah. Don't forget, stream every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. Oh, look at that. If you click the left button on your Xbox controller, click it in, the thumbstick, it'll invert your camera. You learn something new every day. You've seen it here first. Alright guys, thanks so much, and we'll see you on Wednesday. Bye.